Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Council meeting. The Local Government Act 2020, Section 25, states the election of the Mayor must be chaired by the Chief Executive Officer. Part B, Section 4 of the Governance Rules states that the Chief Executive Officer must facilitate the election of the Mayor in accordance with the provisions of the Act. Once the Mayor has been elected, they will assume the position of Chair. Can I ask that please turn off mobile telephones, or in the case of an emergency, please advise the Chair and switch to silent mode. Bass Coast Shire Council acknowledges the Bunurong as traditional owners and custodians of the lands and waters and pays respect to their elders past, present and emerging, for they hold the memories, the traditions, the culture and law. Bass Coast Shire Council celebrates the opportunity to embrace and empower the Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander communities in their diversity. Bass Coast Shire Council will create opportunities for future recognition and respectful partnerships that will honour the traditional owners and custodians and Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander peoples. I'll now ask Councillor Tracy Bell to read the Councillor statement.
All members of this Council pledge to the Bass Coast Shire community to consider every item listed on this agenda based on the individual merits of each item, without bias or prejudice, by maintaining an open mind and disregarding councillors' personal interests so as to avoid any conflict with our public duty. Any councillor having a conflict of interest in an item will make a proper prior disclosure to the meeting and will not participate in the debate or vote on the issue.
Thanks, Councillor Bell. Item 1, present and apologies. All councillors are present. Item 2, declarations of interest. There have been no declarations of interest made. Item 3, confirmation of the minutes for the council meeting held on the 16th of October 2024. Can I please have a mover and a seconder that the minutes of the council meeting held on the 16th of October 2024 be confirmed?
So moved.
Councillor Bauer moved.
Second.
Councillor Halstead seconded. All those in favour? The motion is carried. Item 4, determination of the period of office for Mayor and Deputy Mayor. Ms Borley to introduce the report.
Thank you, Mr Chair. Before the election of the Mayor or Deputy Mayor, Council must first determine the period of office. This report recommends that Council elect a Mayor and a Deputy Mayor for a one-year term commencing 20 November 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Borley. Can I please have a councillor to move and second the motion as per the agenda in 4.1? Mover, Councillor Thompson. Seconder, Councillor Tassari. Councillor Thompson, did you want to speak to that at all?
No, thank you.
No.
Any other councillor wish to speak to it? No? So we'll move the motion as per the agenda. All those in favour? The motion is carried. Item 4.2, election of the Mayor. Ms Borley, could you please introduce the report?
Thank you, Chair. This report calls for the nominations for the election of the Mayor in line with Council's governance rules and undertakes the election of the Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Borley. At this stage, I've received one written nomination in line with the governance rules for the appointment of the Mayor. Councillor Halstead has been nominated by Councillor Thompson and the nomination has been seconded by Councillor Bauer. In the absence of any other nomination, Councillor Halstead is therefore declared duly elected as Mayor. Councillor Halstead, you may assume the chair.
Thank you.
You're a pin dropping here. Everyone, I'll just get myself settled.
You're waiting for her already. Started already.
Okay. The CEO received one nomination in line with the governance rules for the appointment of the Deputy Mayor. Councillor Brett Tassari has been nominated by Councillor Bauer, and the nomination has been seconded by Councillor Halstead. I now declare Councillor Tassari, therefore, is declared duly elected as Deputy Mayor. Congratulations. Okay, sorry. Is there any other councillors that wish to speak at this time on the
election?
mayoral election?
I will if I can.
Yeah, you go first.
I'd just like to say to you, Councillor Halstead, I wish you all the best as Mayor. I'm sure you'll be a fair and just Mayor, and I'm sure you'll guide this new council in the direction that we're all hoping to go, and I really do wish you all the very best.
Yeah, here.
Councillor Tassari, thank you. Any further comments?
If I may.
Councillor Bauer?
Madam Mayor, fellow councillors and ratepayers watching this meeting, yes, I will do it again for all year. It gives me great pleasure to have nominated Councillor Tassari for the position of Deputy Mayor and to have been Mayor Halstead's seconder. I do not have to sell the credentials of Councillor Tassari for this position. He served 3 times as a mayor and has been on many council-appointed committees. He will be an invaluable shoulder to lean on. The cooperation shown by all to have this smooth election brings tears to my eyes. Even though we've only been working together for 1 week, I'm confident we will work together as a team to achieve the best outcomes for the residents and ratepayers of the Shire for this term. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bauer.
Thank you, Councillor Bauer, and here. Any other councillor wish to make comment at this time? Alrighty, well, I might take the opportunity if that's okay. 20 years ago, I had to walk away from a role that I loved. And so today feels like full circle for me, but this time I come from a different perspective with so much more life experience and professional development behind me. I'm grateful to councillors in this room today who have had limited opportunity to build a strong working relationship with me, but have through their support today shown great trust in my ability to represent them and the Bass Coast Shire. Our community have chosen well with this group. We will all bring a professional approach to the challenges Bass Coast faces and a willingness to tackle those challenges together. So I thank you, councillors. One does not get to such a privileged position without the support of so many. Thank you to my community who not only gave me the opportunity to represent them, but encouraged me to seek the position of Mayor. You know who you are, and here we are. We're here. Thank you to my family and my amazingly supportive husband, Tony, who recognised my love for community and has been my biggest cheerleader. Thank you to the executive leadership team and to the broader Bass Coast Council staff who do an amazing job under significant scrutiny and are always willing to offer assistance when needed for councillors and in the role of Mayor from what I've witnessed. I look forward to working with this wonderfully united team of councillors, and it certainly has been united over the last week or so that we've been together, and I'm really looking forward to working with you. So thank you for your trust in me, and I will do my very, very best not to let you down. Thank you.
Hey.
For now, I'm going to adjourn the meeting for 15 minutes. Let us all catch our breath, have a drink of water. I think there's some photos to be taken. So thanks, we'll just have a little break. Beautiful. Welcome back, everyone online. We will now reapply the governance rules and move to 4.4 on the agenda, councillors. Recording of oath or affirmation of office by councillors. Ms Borley to introduce the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and congratulations to yourself and Councillor Tassari.
Thank you.
The purpose of this report is to record the taking of the oath or affirmation of office by councillors-elect on Monday, 11th of November 2024, as required by the Local Government Act 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Borley. I request a councillor to move and second the motion as per the agenda. Moved Councillor Tassari, second Councillor Bauer. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? Oh, sorry, we've got to vote first. Okay, sorry. Let's take a step back. No. Sorry, Councillor Tassari, you have the floor.
I'm happy to.
Here we go.
And as seconder, Councillor Bauer, would you like to say anything?
Nothing to add.
Is
You
there-
said it all.
Is there anything any other councillor would like to add? Okay, so we will vote.
Put it to the vote, thanks, Madam Mayor.
Those in favour? That's carried, thank you. Item 4.5, appointments of council committees and external committees. Ms Borley to introduce the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The purpose of this report is to appoint councillor delegates to the Audit and Risk Committee and My Community Library. Appointments to the remaining council committees and external committees will be made at the December council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Borley. I request a councillor to move and second the motion. Would you like me to read that? You're good. Move Councillor Tassari, second Councillor Temby. Is there anyone against?
He's going to speak to it first.
Would you like to speak to it?
Just that I wish Councillor Thompson all the best with her nomination for Miley. It's a very rewarding and important position. And I look forward to, along with yourself, Madam Mayor, sitting in on the Audit and Risk, which is full of incredible information. So,
Thank you, Councillor Tassari. Councillor Temby, did you have anything to add?
No.
Any other councillors wish to add? We put that.
put it to a vote, Madam Mayor.
Oh, all those in favour? That's carried, thank you. We'll move to the next item, 4.6, instruments of appointments and authorisation. Ms Borley once again to introduce the report.
Thank you, Mayor. The purpose of this report is to authorise the named officer under the Planning and Environment Act 1987 and approve the execution of the instrument of appointment and authorisation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms Borley. Request a councillor to move. Councillor Tassari again, second. Councillor Edwards. Councillor Tassari, would
Thank
you
you,
like
Madam
to
Mayor.
speak?
This is procedural and happy to pass a recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Tassari. Councillor Edwards, nothing to add? Any further comments from councillors around the table? We'll put that to the vote. All those in...
Happy to put that to a vote, Madam Mayor.
Sorry. I will get it in time. All those in favour of the recommendation? That's carried. Thank you. Moving to 4.7, the quarterly performance report, quarter 1, July to September 2024. Ms Borley, again, to introduce the report. Thank you.
Last one, Madam Mayor. The purpose of this report is to present the July to September quarterly report to the community. The report provides an overview of Council's financial performance, capital works delivery and activity against the annual action plan. It is recommended that Council receive the report.
Thank you, Ms Borley. A councillor to move. Councillor Tassari, second. Councillor Bell, sorry. Councillor Tassari, would you like to speak?
No.
Councillor Bell, any councillors wish to add anything to the debate, which hasn't happened? Back to Councillor Tassari to the vote. All those in favour? That's carried, thank you. Now we move to public question time. Okay, question 1. Diane McCaskill. The topic, not-for-profit groups not using Burn and Eat. With recent media concerns as to local not-for-profit and community groups not using Burn and Eat for events due to costs and licences, are councillors aware that in addition to this, Bass Coast Shire Council seek a percentage of merchandise sold from those not-for-profit organisations at their event.
Through the Mayor, the fees and charges are consistent with industry practice and are set annually. All hirers are made aware of the terms and conditions at the time of booking. The new council will consider fees and charges as part of the development of the 2025-2026 budget.
Thank you, Mr Box. Question 2, 3 and 4 all relate to the Burn and Eat construction. They'll be given one response. Question 2 is from Philip Davey. Was the Cowes Cultural Centre construction contract subject to a penalty payment clause if the centre was not to gain Passive House certification? If not, why not? And number 2, council paid an exorbitant amount for the construction of the Cowes Cultural Centre, including for it to be classified as Passive House establishment. It is over 12 months since it was opened, but is still without Passive House certification. What is the proposed date to achieve Passive House certification? Question 3, Ross Bencraft. Part 1. Burn and Eat has just celebrated the first anniversary of its opening, but still has not achieved Passive House certification as it was supposed to upon completion. What costs did the inclusion of specialised planning construction necessary for the building to achieve Passive House add to overall cost of the building? 2. What does Bass Coast Shire Council consider to be the acceptable and finite deadline for Burn and Eat achieve Passive House certification, and will the builders be expected to refund all extra costs associated with specialised Passive House planning and construction should that deadline fail to be met? Question 4 is from Amanda Noski. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Part 1. Can Council please provide all of the exact dates since the opening of Burn and Eat that the responsible builders or its representatives has physically visited the building to rectify the causes of the building failing to achieve Passive House certification? Part 2. Can Council please provide specific details of any and all physical work alterations made to Burn and Eat since its opening in order to rectify the causes of its failure to achieve Passive House certification? Mr Box.
Through the Mayor, Council entered into a design and construction contract with McCorkle for Burn and Eat. This contract included the requirement for the building to be Passive House certified. As with all construction contracts, a defect liability period applies, and Council is actively working with the builder to address outstanding defects and assure compliance, including Passive House certification.
Thank you, Mr Box. Question 5, Linda Marston. Topic, parking sensor system. What are the annual maintenance costs and maintenance schedule of the installed 9 sensor and electronic notice board systems? Are these systems affected by the deactivation of the 3G network? And why are customer safety officers chalking tyres on a regular basis when the system is installed? Mr Box.
Through the Mayor, Council utilises a combination of methods for car parking compliance, including sensors and manual checks. The sensors are not affected by the 3G network deactivation. Tyre marking is part of our regular compliance approach to ensure effective monitoring, and it is used as an additional measure when sensors are undergoing maintenance. This has an annual maintenance cost of $29,245.
Thank you, Mr Box. Question 6, Louise Lyle. Topic, special charge scheme. Previous special charge schemes information was displayed for everyone to read on Council's Engage page. It appears that communication, and especially transparency, has decreased to a new low with secrecy about current schemes. Why can't the current multiple proposed special charge schemes be viewed by the general public? Mr Box.
Through the Mayor, Council has undertaken initial engagement on petitions initiated by the community for road and drainage improvement projects within Surf Beach, Sunderland Bay. Information on these upgrades will be added to the Engage Bass Coast over the next 2 months.
Question 7, Louise Lyle. Topic, Pickle. In light of the current financial difficulties of Pickle, can Council provide proof that the RSL donation of $106,000 in late 2022 to Pickle was actually credited to benefit Pickle only and was not transferred to fund council projects elsewhere?
Through the Mayor, Council can confirm that the $106,000 provided by the Bass Coast Phillip Island RSL Trust to Pickle for the development of a community garden was only used for its intended purposes, with Council also making a significant contribution of $292,000 to the project.
Question 8, Kevin Griffin. Topic, CEO Contract of Employment. The Local Government Act requires that a Chief Executive Officer be appointed under a contract of employment with the Council. Will each of the current councillors be allowed the opportunity to read and understand the employment contract currently applicable to Mr Box?
Through the Mayor, councillors can view the CEO contract upon request.
Question 9, Kevin Griffin. Topic, Key Performance Indicators. At its June 2023 ordinary meeting, Council advised that it would publish the key performance indicators applying to the CEO. Where can these KPIs be found on Council's website?
Through the Mayor, the performance indicators referenced in Council's June 2023 response applied to a specific time frame under the former CEO. The performance indicators for the current CEO will be made available once endorsed by the new Council.
Question 10, Nano Langheim and Marcus White. Topic, Footpath Works. When will the planned footpath works between the Cranny and Woolamai Beach be completed? Public consultation for this was over 10 years ago, identifying these works as a safety priority project.
Through the Mayor, this area is managed by Phillip Island Nature Parks. Officers have contacted Nature Parks, who have advised that the path remains within their adopted master plan, however has not been funded for delivery.
Question 11, Nano Langheim. Topic, Traffic lights, Churchill Island Road and Churchill Island. I've waited so long to cross the road at the intersection of Churchill Island Road and Churchill Island while on bicycle with my children that Google asked me to review the restaurant at the Chocolate Factory. When will traffic lights be installed for this intersection?
Through the Mayor, this section of road is managed by the Department of Transport. Council understands there are no plans to install traffic lights at the intersection of Phillip Island Road and Samuel A. Mess Drive, the road to Churchill Island.
Thank you, Mr Box. Question 12. Question 12 was submitted by a minor, therefore their name will be removed from the question. However, Council is delighted to receive a question from a minor. So this is our question and the topic is pump track. First part, hi, I'm 8 years old and love pump tracks. Why will it take 10 to 15 years to build one? I'll be 18 or 23 by then. Too old to enjoy it. Could you please reassess the timeline so kids like me can ride before we turn 10? Thank you for considering this. Part 2. My family says pump tracks can be built quickly using simple designs, local materials and community help. Could you look at faster ways like involving volunteers, sponsors or temporary setups? This way, kids like me can enjoy it sooner. Thank you for thinking about this idea.
Through the Mayor, the Bass Coast Shire Mountain Bike BMX Pump Strategy includes a facility development summary which outlines the short, medium and long-term timeframes for off-road cycling facilities. Delivery of each action within the plan is subject to funding through Council's annual budget process. A draft master plan for Sunnyside Reserve in Cape Woolamai, which will include a pump track, is currently being prepared and will be released for consultation in the new year. Once the location is confirmed, Council will certainly consider the use of simple designs, local materials and community help to complete the project.
Thank you, Mr Box. Question 13, John Cantoni. Topic, Cows Football Ground. Would Council please provide a report as to the playing surface condition of the Cows Cricket Football Ground that includes player safety?
Through the Mayor, Council has undertaken a site investigation of the playing surface at Cows Recreation Reserve to look at the current condition, determine the extent of the issues to the playing surface and identify works required to address these. Council will be undertaking works in late November to restore turf cover and surface levels. Engagement with the users of the facility is underway.
Question 14, John Cantoni. Topic, Hilton Chadwick Reserve. When did council apply for a permit with detailed plans to Regional Roads Victoria for a safety turning lane and crossovers along the portion of road connecting the Hilton Chadwick Reserve and the Carnival land that would allow entry/exit to the lands owned by council?
Through the Mayor, Council has not applied for a permit for a turning lane and crossover from the Department of Transport and Planning. Council is currently working with the Department of Transport and Planning on the design of an entry point. Once the design is complete and funding secured, the relevant permits and approvals will be sought.
Question 15, Ernie Westergaard. Topic, Aboriginal Artefacts Survey. When did council carry out an Aboriginal artefacts survey and soil testing to the Hilton Chadwick Reserve to council-owned land in Cowes?
Through the Mayor, Council undertook a desktop cultural heritage assessment for Hilton Chadwick Reserve in April 2022. No soil testing for these sites has been undertaken.
Question 16, Graham Jolly. Topic, Council Plan 2021 to 25. Council's Council Plan 2021 to 25 has 6 strategic objectives. Why is Council reporting limited details to the 6 objectives in the quarterly community report, of which the budget allocations and the actual year-to-date expenses are not reported?
Through the Mayor, Council's quarterly financial reporting is presented in a format consistent with the information provided in the annual budget. This includes a funding statement, statement of capital works, comprehensive income statement, balance sheet and cash flow statement. These statements are prepared at an aggregated or consolidated level and are not broken down by organisational function or council plan objective. Additionally, Council's financial systems map expenditure at a divisional and departmental level rather than to the strategic objectives. The preparation of expenditure comparisons at this level would be a resource-intensive manual process.
Question 17, Sharon Cantoni. Topic, Hilton Chadwick Reserve. When did Council apply to the various service delivery authorities with detailed plans for the connection of water, sewerage, stormwater connections and electricity supply to predetermined locations to the Hilton Chadwick Reserve and the Carnival land owned by Council? 2. Would Council provide the detailed plans for the development of a new sports oval, oval fencing, underground drainage, ground watering, ground lighting, toilet block, club rooms, car parking around the oval and access entry-exit driveways to the Hilton Chadwick Reserve owned by Council?
Through the Mayor, Council adopted the Phillip Island Recreation Master Plan in September 2023. The plan is a long-term vision for the new recreation reserve. Delivery of the actions, including detailed design identified in the master plan, are subject to funding in the long-term financial plan. Currently, the actions identified are not included in the long-term financial plan. The long-term financial plan is scheduled for review in 2025 as part of the new council plan.
Question 18, Maureen Allard. Topic, Council meetings. When will Council conduct council meetings at the Cowes Cultural and Community Centre?
Through the Mayor, the Wonthaggi Civic Centre Council Chamber is council space for council meetings and has been set up to accommodate hybrid attendance, live streaming and a public gallery. Occasionally meetings may be scheduled at Burn and Eat, however it has not been created as a dedicated meeting space for council.
Maureen Allard, question 19, Maureen Allard. Topic, off-leash exercise park. Would Council provide a detailed plan to the dog owners community as to the construction of a dog's off-leash exercise park that was determined as a development in the Phillip Island Recreation Reserve Master Plan some years ago?
Through the Mayor, the delivery timelines of the dog park as outlined in the Phillip Island Recreation Reserve Master Plan will be incorporated as part of the Bass Coast Dog Park strategy.
Question 20, Graham Jolly. Topic, Quarterly Community Report. Council's 4th Quarterly Community Report ending 30th of June 2024 provides a listing on page 30 of operating carryovers to 2024-25, consisting of 31 projects with $1.633 million. Would Council please provide a new spreadsheet reporting details of operating projects for 2024-25 with project numbers funding and actual year-to-date expenses.
Through the Mayor, Council's operating projects carryovers, 2.544 million, are included in the updated first quarter forecast projections for full year expenditure. Details of the 33 projects carried over as operating projects are disclosed in the fourth quarter performance report, which Council receives in October 2024. Most of these projects, typically unexpended grants, have very small budget allocations. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr Box. And that was the last question. Thank you also to community members who have written in their questions for this council meeting. Next item on the agenda, item 6, is notices of motion. We don't have any notices of motion, so we will move to item 7, which is petitions, joint letters, deputations and correspondence. Also, we have nil, so we can move to item 8, which is statutory reports. I'd request a councillor to move the agenda in a block from 8.1, 8.2 and 8.3 to be considered as a block. Councillor Bauer, move. Councillor Tassari, second. Councillor Bauer, is there anything you'd like to say?
No, just take them as a block, that's fine.
Thank you. Councillor Tassari?
Happy to vote.
Do any other councillors wish to speak to any of the reports contained in this block? Councillor Bauer?
Put it to a vote.
Put to the vote. All those in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you. Item 8.1, informal meeting of councillors' records.
Sorry, point of order, don't we have to adopt them now?
Adopt. Sorry, I've missed a spoke. Oh, I've done that.
You've done that.
Yeah.
So you just, they're the ones you're
Oh, okay.
So then you're on to this one.
So I'm moving and seconding. Oh, sorry. Okay, we were accepting it as a block.
It's all right, Councillor Lasserve never got it right in 11 months. So.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so sorry, councillors, we were accepting that as a block and now we need to move the items. So if I could have a mover, Councillor Temby, just for a change. Sorry, Councillor Bauer. A seconder, Councillor Thompson. Would you like to speak to any of those reports, Councillor Temby?
No, straight through.
Councillor Thompson?
No.
Any other councillor? All those in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you. Urgent business, item 9. I would like to ask if any councillor has any items of urgent business. Councillor Edwards, could I ask what the urgent business is in relation to?
I, Councillor Edwards, hereby give notice that I intend to move an item of urgent business at this meeting, which reads as follows. Immediate protection of key assets in Inverloch in response to coastal erosion.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. Do I have a councillor who will second for this item to be adopted as urgent business? Councillor Bauer. Is there anyone opposed? Okay, so we'll vote whether to accept this into urgent business. All those in favour? That's unanimous. So over to you, Councillor Edwards, if you'd like to introduce your motion.
Thank you. The motion is that officers prepare a report to be presented to the December 2024 council meeting addressing the following matters. That options other than sand renourishment for medium-term solutions, i.e. 3 to 4 years, including type of mitigation, for example, extending the length of geotextile sandbags or other measures, time to implement and indicative costings. Ensure safe access to the beach is maintained. Ensure safety measures are put in place whilst works are undertaken to ensure the safety of those enjoying the Inverloch Surf Beach.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. Do I have a seconder for that?
I'd like to be able to read it, sorry, Madam Mayor.
Sorry, we'll take a moment for you to do that, Councillor Tassari.
Madam Mayor, well, you read I will second.
To actually speak to it. Yeah, I need a seconder though.
No, I'll second.
Okay, so Councillor, just to clarify, Councillor Edwards has moved the motion. We have a seconder in Councillor Bauer. we'll go back to Councillor Edwards to speak to the motion.
Okay. Are we ready for me to start? Okay. During the campaign period recently, I committed to our community that if elected, I would advocate for protecting Inverloch and our broader region. I will not fail our community. Over the last week, there has been significant further erosion to the Inverloch foreshore, negating all the sand replenishment works that were carried out in September 2024. We are aware that works have commenced again this morning to repeat what was carried out in September and has since washed away. There is no safe access to the beach. While works are being carried out on the beach, they do not enable safe use of the beach concurrently. It is essential that both the Surf Life Saving Club have access to patrol our coastline and that key infrastructure is protected. Our community is calling on Council to implement immediate and technically sound works to maintain beach access for the Surf Life Saving Club, patrollers and rescue equipment, and general public to enable safe beach use from the 1st of December. Representative community groups to be utilised where feasible to enable work implementation as quickly as possible and a reduced cost to Council. Why is this important? Because everybody is impacted. The environmental and financial cost of not protecting Inverloch is far greater than the cost of protecting it. Every person in Inverloch, and more broadly all of Bass Coast, will be adversely impacted if no action is taken to protect it. It is not just the surf club or the houses nearby in the nearby vicinity. If water breaks through, it goes to the lowest point, and that would extend far beyond the area close to the beach. People work hard for their homes, have built where permits have been granted by Council, and therefore Council has an obligation to do whatever possible to protect both public and private assets. If water does destroy infrastructure, there will be environmental damage of debris in the ocean. There will be costs of rebuilding both public and private assets. Is the state government going to fund the rebuilding of a new surf club? There will be many hundreds of personal lives impacted by their homes being destroyed. The mental health impact on our community is already being severely felt. The sewerage system will be compromised. With the RACV cut off from Inverloch and less tourists in general, every business in Inverloch, many of which are still trying to recover from the lockdown years and now hit with cost of living, reduced spending, will be further impacted in trade. The impact on businesses will reduce jobs. The reduction of jobs will reduce the number of families in Inverloch, flowing on to the impact on the school and sporting clubs. The urgency of protecting Inverloch is critical for everyone to be engaged with. It might ultimately be a state government decision of whether to protect Inverloch or not, but without a community and council that are advocating for it, they won't. It is recognised that while emergency short-term works are underway today and that DECA have indicated an intention to commence more significant sand renourishment in the spring of 2025, there is an immediate need to stabilise the most fragile areas with a non-permanent yet stable solution that buys some time in years, not days. Council's role here is more than strong advocacy. We have a responsibility to act to protect our coastline, community and economy. The action from this motion could result in Council considering reallocating sufficient funds to do what it takes to adapt and protect for the medium term. This motion gives plenty of wriggle room, yet strongly calls for real action and advocacy from Council on behalf of our community. Hindsight can argue where what we need to protect now is, yet the Inverloch Surf Beach and community has been politicised for too long. It is time for action.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. Councillor Bauer, as the seconder, would you like to speak to the motion?
Actually, I don't want to speak to, but I'd like to ask a question of the officers. On the motion there, it says to prepare a report by December. I'm not quite sure who to direct this to, but it's December enough, Ms. Kennedy. Is December enough time for you to do this? It's a very short time frame.
Through the Mayor, in terms of the information required for this report, yes, we can prepare it in that time because we are working on a number of projects with DECA already, so we have some of that information we can prepare.
Thank you very much. That was all.
Thank you, Ms. Kennedy. Do any other councillors have any further questions or comments to make? Councillor Tassari and then Councillor O'Brien.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. If I can, this is also a question of clarification, and this is without notice to Ms Kennedy as well. Could you please just give us a bit of an outline of the work that has been going on at Inverloch previously and will continue, and I guess the joint venture with DECA and the state government?
Yep. So through the Mayor, council officers are on an intergovernment working group, so we work with a number of the land managers because there are quite a few in Inverloch, and we work in terms of how we can look at protecting the assets both now and into the future, so the RAS, which has been out for community consultation. The work we've done recently is the short-term work, so that's sand renourishment, and it's called sacrificial sand for a reason. We understand that it'll move along as the tides move. because Inverloch is a dynamic coastline. We're also working in partnership with DECA and others to look at what are the medium-term solutions, which is in the RAS, which is around that major sort of sand renourishment or dune restoration works that they're proposing to commence. So they're working on the designs and that for that now, and it'll take some time to obviously go to tender and then implement. We're also working with the Department of Transport and Planning to ensure that we're protecting the Bunurong Road, the coastline there. So we're working across those two sites, Surf Parade as well as the Bunurong Road point coastline. So, and we have officers out on site pretty much daily just monitoring what's going on.
Thank you, Ms Kennedy. Anything further, Councillor Tassari?
That was very impressive. That was without notice too, so thank you for that.
Councillor O'Brien?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Look, I'd just like to maybe, Councillor Edwards might clarify, but also council officers, whether in giving assent to this motion, you know, we may be, you know, interrupting or preventing works, you know, which are going on, you know. So I really understand the absolute sincerity behind it, and understand the anguish and the real fear, you know, that people have seeing their properties under threat. At Silver Leaves we have, you know, a similar problem. But I guess, yeah, I just like to be sure that while there are works going on, that if we give assent to this motion, those works won't stop. Is there a risk of that? I guess is what I'm asking.
Thank you, Councillor O'Brien. I'll hand to Ms Kennedy, who will answer that for you.
Through the Mayor, those works won't stop. We will basically pull together information that has been part of the background work in terms of developing the RAS. So when the RAS was being developed by DECA and the working groups, it's looked at all our options. So we have a lot of information that we can bring to that report. The RAS does set out short, medium and long-term solutions for the Inverloch coastline, and that's the work that officers and the intergovernment working group are working on at the moment. This will just provide an additional layer to it.
Thank you, Ms Kennedy. Are there any further questions, councillors, or comments? I might go back to Councillor Edwards to sum up.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank the council as well for the sacrificial sand work. That is something that is, if we hadn't had that done in September and again now, we possibly would not have a surf club as it stands now. So that is appreciated. I guess what we're calling on and looking for through this process is to look for something more substantial that will take us through 3 to 4 years at least. That's something that is removable, that is some sort of structure, or whether it's sandbags or geotech, something or other, but that will get us through rather than be washed away with the next tide. So that's, you know, where I think we're all on the same page, that we want to protect our community and economy and those assets. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. I'll now put
Before
that...
we vote, Madam Mayor, if I can I just seek clarification that we're voting on just a report coming back in December plus these other couple of points as well, so there's no funding associated to it or anything like that? Yep.
Mr Box?
That's
yes,
correct.
that's correct. Thank you. Councillors, we'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? That's carried unanimously. Coming to the announcement of the next meeting of council, which will be held on the 11th of December 2024 in the Basque Coast Civic Centre Council Chamber, Baillieu Street, East Wonthaggi, commencing at 1 p.m. Thank you all for your patience with me today. I am now going to call the meeting closed, and I look forward to seeing you all in December. Thank you.
That's crazy.